Okay, hey there, sign of Scorpio. This is Kim. Having to be a little quiet today, so you might have find yourself turning up the volume to hear me. Apologize about that, but I'm just trying to be kind for the other people that live here. So let's start off with Krans Wild Unknown archetype deck. Opening up to your spirit team, your spirit guides, and your angels. See what messages we have coming through. Okay, so you have truth, and the womb. Oh, okay, this is about a really major reset. Because the womb card is kind of like when, if you can reset to before you were even born. Like, it's a big card. It talks about creation, what comes before and what could be possible after a reset of some sort. So think of gestation period. I think there may be a period of waiting as something is brewing here in the energy. So with Alethea, this represents truth. Could be talking about a truth, could be talking about your truth. Let's build on this. Let's build on these messages here with some different decks. So we have a reset. We have truth. You have this and that, but you have a little, like, there's blending of both. Notice that too. It's like a yin and yang, but with roses. 10. 10 is an interesting card. This card is about being adaptable. It's about changes coming. It's about your ability to bend through those changes. Maybe switching up your path. It might be talking about divine detours. But another interesting message about that is that I'm picking up on is 12-strand DNA, crystalline light structure or body, going back to the original blueprint since we have this womb card. So Scorpio's going back, a reset. What does that mean for you? Well, big things, actually. This is when we were not limited, when our DNA, our abilities, those things that they call junk that are not actually junk DNA, when those things were not limited or were put into use, how you were originally made, which was to have a longer lifespan, which was to be healthier, to be able to cure yourself, heal yourself, to access divine spiritual gifts easily, access to your divine nature and your connection through the DNA, through the blueprint. Look at, in some way, it's been tampered with or scrambled with, and this is coming back to your DNA divine perfection. It's letting in more light. A crystalline structure is an attribute of 10, so that's where I'm getting this from. So as more light comes into the body, as you embrace more of your divine essence or more of your light body, of course you're going to have things be released. I don't see them talking too much about that right now. It's the dissolving of what was old, outdated, stepping into love of your body and your life experience. And you're being guided almost like by these light codes, by these gene codes almost. Out of a situation that felt like there was a lot being attached to you, or that you had a lot to work through. Everything was always complicated with the coagulation, and it's like a reset to help you move through that energy. Yeah, so you're being guided. You have a benevolent guide here. You have a spirit guide. You have earth angels as guides. You could be an earth angel, but you definitely have a guide here from the light, the sun. So the Drowned King it's really representing the ego dissolving. Or any of those things that we built upon a false idea of who we were. And it very well can have something to do with this whole being tampered with in history. So some of these labels, some of these things that we've identified with, it's like it's all dissolving, being part of the ocean again. I'm going to pull from the Cosmos Tarot, Oracle. Cosmos Oracle, and we'll see what else wants to come in. So Venus is, yeah, pleasure. I feel like that's representing pleasure in your body, pleasure, loving yourself, love, Aphrodite. But it feels like it's talking about the embodiment. I'm getting a really big earthly feel from it. Stratopause. So I will have to look that up. This is a new deck. Stratopause. Let's see. The transition stage. Okay, and so that's why then they're bringing out the 10 card, because this is a time where you're in transition. There's a truth that's being revealed of who you really are and what you are going to reset to. Okay, so this is the transition stage. It says transformation led by personal choice. The stratopause, just to let you know what it is the level of the atmosphere, which is the boundary between two layers, the mesosphere and the stratosphere. Its upper limit or turning point is the stratosphere, which gives way to dynamic balance. It's a place of transit, just like a bus stop. Nothing stays in this position for too long. Oh, I like what it says here, because this is like the Alethea card of truth. It says, the decision about where to go comes from us. We have two polar opposites to choose from, black or white, left or right, yes or no. So this is a transition that's being offered to you by spirit, by the divine. If you want a reset, if you want to dissolve what is old, outdated, or could be changed at this time, so that you have a more enjoyable experience here. Yeah, so this is the pause, but it's also the choice. Antimatter. Okay, CERN. Okay, CERN. Antimatter. That one feels like it wants to come out. Flight. Interesting. I have flight, and I also have the gravitational acceleration. So this is a pause before you take flight. A pause that you're experiencing for a personal transformation, something that is your decision, but is offered to you by spirit, by the divine, by source God, the Most High, whatever name you want to call it. It's in order for you to take flight, being the best version of yourself and having the most enjoyable experience here that's possible. It does require a lot of different changes and tweaks. Yeah, okay. I'm going through the same thing. Been going through it for a few years now. But this feels like it's a big... It feels like a pivotal point of choice right now for you. So for the people that are going to be tuning into this. So let me look into antimatter for you. Antimatter, I believe, is like the breaking. It's not matter. It's the breaking apart of the structure. So, and it can be created. So like CERN, like I'm not looking at the book. That's my understanding is like at CERN where they take the particles and they smush them together really fast so they collide and break apart. I think that they would be working with this energy or antimatter. Okay. The contact between antimatter and matter creates transformation. It is the opposite of matter. Okay, so it is the opposite of what you are creating. It is the opposite of what you are trying to manifest. It's saying that your energy should be focused on your root chakra, on the lower vortex of your body at this time to gain strength and navigate the third dimension. This is talking about putting the concentration into what you're wanting to manifest. Knowing when you're going in the opposite direction of that which you want to manifest. Seeing the truth in it. And then taking the steps for self-transformation. It is a really big transformative time for you. So... And in a way, like even without the book, I'm kind of getting that this antimatter is almost like the drowned king energy, where it was something that appeared to be whole. It was like an appeared manifestation of your life, of your role, of whatever you decided to call yourself or label yourself, something that you identified with for a very long time that's being broken into little pieces. It's so that it can come together in a beautiful reset. And I think that that's more like what it's talking about. So gravitational acceleration and flight are kind of beautiful coming out together. Obviously flight means taking off, right? Up to the sky. Taking off, taking flight. Something that will have a quick rise or a high rise. There's continuous movement here. It says, spread your wings and fly without looking back. This is putting something into motion. And then the energy that you need, I think, is tapped into this unconditional love with Venus. The unconditional love for yourself. And the unconditional love for this experience of now I have the energy to propel me to this target here. So gravitational acceleration is the force that makes the object move. Excuse me. The force that makes the object move towards your target or your goal, and it has a constantly increasing speed. So I like that in the sense that whatever this transformation is, excuse me, goodness, throat chakra attack. Let me get some coffee. The light, like the combination of light codes and information, love coming in from spirit to help you with whatever changes you're going through right now is saying that that love is going to help you exponentially increase speed and movement as you take flight. And in a way, you're like the emergence of the God particle. It's what I'm seeing. Like everything that, like the ego death, the all these little particles, but I'm seeing like what they do at CERN, and I'm feeling like that divine blueprint, that piece that piece that was missing, that needed to be whole, and you can only get it from the divine, is that God particle, and you are that God particle, and you're about to take flight. It had to like collide and break apart just to see who you really were. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. All right, so this is the Quantum Tarot. This deck and that Cosmos Tarot was a gift to the channel from a very sweet subscriber, so thank you. I think I've said thank you every single time I've used them, because I really appreciate them, and they're a great addition to the messages that come on this channel, so really appreciate that. We all do. Anything else you can give me for beautiful? Oof. Well, I would say get ready to receive, because you have the Queen of Pentacles and you also have the Queen of Wands. But they're really, look, they're really pointing out this beautiful divine feminine wisdom coming in. I'm just seeing this truth as being a wisdom pulled in by this energy of the Queen of Wands. Oh, it's just beautiful. So you're standing out, you're attractive, you're standing out, you're embodying some sort of magic right now also, and being able to tap into your abilities. Queen of Wands is such a bold, brave archetype. I love the Queen of Wands. It's like I see her as like the stage is being set for you, and you're going to take flight into this next new chapter of your life where you're the one performing, you're the one on stage, you're the one in the spotlight. It says like a spotlight, and you're fearless. And that's what the Queen of Wands energy is. So this feminine energy, of course, you can be a man, you can be a woman, and you can embody the Queen of Wands energy. If you remember, I don't know, about 10 years ago, that it was big on the messages coming in were really big, divine feminine. Like, we knew that there was going to be a big push towards integrating this energy in a healthy way more than ever, and that looks like what this is. Might have been more than 10 years ago that those messages were coming in. And now I'm getting the message, just on a collective, that the energies are here, the reset is here, and now the time for alchemy and magic and transformation, transforming everything is here. We had to pull in the right elements or the right energies. We had to be ready to receive them. And I think enough of us have been ready to receive them. And that's why it's like time for this now. And if you're watching this, then it's time for it for you too. So this energy receives a lot of praise. They receive a lot of compliments. They may even look younger than their age. They're wealthy normally. They're normally very skilled. Definitely psychic abilities are in there. With a 9 of Pentacles. There's that money. This, I see that relating to the Venus energy strongly, because the 9 of Pentacles, you know, is talking about, well, I just picture in your reading a person that's enjoying the money that is like the reward for their effort here. And a lot of this effort is something that was on the it was unseen to others. It was spiritual. It was done within the confidence of yourself and your spirit team, and it looks like it's going to bring in really good windfall of blessings for you, prosperity, abundance. Yeah, oh wow. And the Six of Wands, which is a victorious energy. Just like this Queen of Wands, it is a person who is being recognized. They're usually pictured like sitting on top of a horse with other people around, kind of like either waving or holding up wreaths or flowers. There's praise because there's acknowledgement that you have hit a big achievement, and this could be like what's right around the corner, and it's something that feels like when you take flight, it's just gonna keep, just like if you started something and you know that you're doing what you feel guided spiritually to do, I feel like it's just gonna start multiplying for you to the point where it's not gonna, people are not gonna be able to not notice how much you've glowed up, leveled up, and how much spiritual authority that you hold. This to me screams leadership position. Like how this is like there's a Leo energy present here, but I see people saying, you know, how did they get the confidence and to the place that they are at? How can I receive what Scorpio is receiving or is about to receive? Like how do I get that look? How do I get that confidence? And it's because you allowed things to break apart, and that's not easy to do. You allowed all of it to break apart. So I'm going to get an angel number for you, and I'm going to wrap this reading up. I do have private readings available. If you need a private reading, they start at $20. I like to keep at least, you know, one option there that is pretty affordable if you have just a small question. So that information is in the description box below. But otherwise, thank you for joining me. As always, I'm sending you much love, leaving you with much love. Yeah, where you are in alignment for growth, ascension. 3 to the 4, 3 being this beautiful like creator energy, empress energy, and the 4 saying that it's going to help you build what you want to build to make you feel safe, secure, protected. So I'll read it though. 3 says expression comes naturally to you. You're skilled at communicating your thoughts through conversation and creative pursuits. You are able to get others on board with your ideas. I'm charismatic. And number 4, you bring stability and rationality to any situation. You are the rock, and your hard work and perseverance make you a dependable friend, partner, and colleague. I am stable. So, bye.